on guys, it's me your boy Orban Cast aka Vinesh back here with another brand new video, and I hope you guys are having a great day. So we are back here with another Formula 1 content, and this time we'll be looking into the hot topic of the silly season in the 2022 season of Formula 1, which is the question mark of who is going to take the seat of Fernando Alonso in the Alpine team for the 2023 season. So as you know, coming into the 2022 season, Formula 2 defending champion Oscar Piastri is a junior academy driver of Alpine, and if it wasn't for Fernando Alonso, he should be rightfully taking the seat of Fernando Alonso at Alpine for the 2022 season. But you know, the man Fernando Alonso is a legend and a great driver that he is. Even at the age of 40 plus, he's being able to deliver and being competent enough to stay on top of the grid. Alpine is at a very tough spot where they couldn't deny him a contract for the 2022 season and forward. So what they offered for him was a contract extension for the 2022 season in 2021, and moving forward they were willing to give him another contract extension for the 2023 season +1, and that +1 means if Fernando Alonso's performance was more than what Alpine was expecting from him for the 2023 season, they will give him another contract extension for the 2024 season, which is basically what Mercedes did to Valtteri Bottas' Formula 1 career in Mercedes. And Fernando was expecting for a multi-year contract, not a 1+1 contract from Alpine. So when unexpectedly Sebastian Vettel announced his retirement from Formula 1 right before the Hungarian Grand Prix, the silly season had basically kick-started for the mid-season contract negotiations between drivers. Before that, the seats that the team had on offer was pretty straightforward and there was not much confusion in the driver market. But with Sebastian Vettel's unexpected announcement of retirement, it basically blown the driver market wide open. And with that being said, Aston Martin was looking for a driver who can replace Sebastian Vettel in terms of not just the performance, but also in terms of the market value, in terms of the reputation that the driver could bring in to the Aston Martin brand. And Fernando Alonso seemed like the best bet. It is pretty much like a like-for-like trade where a world champion driver is getting replaced by another world champion driver. So moving forward, right when we got into the summer break of the 2022 season of Formula 1, Fernando Alonso announced his decision to move to Aston Martin under a multi-year contract, which was both expected and unexpected, because right when Sebastian Vettel announced his retirement from the sport, the immediate person that I could think of who can successfully replace or take the role that Sebastian Vettel had at Aston Martin was Fernando Alonso. But it's not really the best decision if you would ask me, because the team's performance this season has been very poor, and compared to Alpine, the performance is not really there. Though they are making some significant improvements with their car and the results are showing, with both the cars finishing 10th and 11th in the last two races, it's still not a consistent point scorer if you ask me. And the qualifying pace is not really there with the car, and knowing Fernando Alonso, he is a person who really demands performance out of the car. So I'm not sure as to how the Fernando Alonso and Aston Martin relationship is going to work, but I really hope that his relationship with Aston Martin and the long run ambition of Aston Martin really does pay off, and Fernando Alonso could challenge for the championship title at some point, but I don't see it happening anytime soon in the next 2 years. It would take the team at least 3 years to build a car that is championship contention worthy, and we all know that if you deliver a championship contention car to Fernando Alonso, he is one man who can extract the most out of it and bring home the team the best possible result that there is. So now everything seems clear for Alpine, right? Fernando Alonso, who seemed like the only problem that the team had, because he was delivering good results, you can't really deny him when he asks for a contract extension. And you have a young and thriving driver who wants to bring home results and championships for the team, who is also a defending champion in Formula 2, who's all set and ready to get in the seat of Alpine. You may see that the problem for Alpine has been solved. They basically just have to sign Oscar Piastri in for the 2023 season. But here's where the silly season's hot topic really gets spicy. Alpine decides to announce Oscar Piastri as their driver for the 2023 season at a very unexpected time. Pretty much no one really saw it coming, because it was at a very odd time, which was basically midnight in Australia. And knowing that your driver is an Australian and that news will be much celebrated by the Australian audience, You would expect that Alpine would announce that news during daytime in Australia, keeping that in mind. But it was a very odd timing that they decided to announce when most of Australia is fast asleep. And adding to that is that when they announced that Oscar Piastri will be driving for them for the 2023 season, it didn't have any quote of Oscar Piastri saying that he's excited for the team, he's excited to be driving in Formula 1, etc. etc. There was basically nothing that was said or quoted to have said by Oscar Piastri. And with that odd announcement out of the way, a couple of minutes later, Oscar Piastri decides to saying that there has been no agreement between Alpine and Oscar Piastri that he will be driving for the 2023 season for Alpine, and he has made sure nice and very clear that he will not be driving for Alpine for the 2023 season. And now you'd be asking, well, he is an Alpine junior driver, so obvious that when a seat is clear at Alpine, he would be the first driver to jump into that seat. Well, it seems like Oscar Piastri has been working out a deal behind the scenes with McLaren, or it has at least been said that it is McLaren who he's in talks with for the 2023 season. So if you don't know, McLaren is basically logged in for the 2023 season with their driver lineup being Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo, with Daniel Ricciardo having a contract till the end of 2023. So how will this deal work out? Well, if McLaren is really interested in taking in Oscar Piastri as their driver, which it very much looks likely that that's what McLaren is interested in, they can either convince Daniel Ricciardo into dropping out from the team and breaking the contract, or they have to buy the contract out from Daniel Ricciardo, because in terms of the contract clause, it is all up to Daniel, who has to decide whether he wants to continue with the team or does he want to break the contract. So basically, McLaren doesn't have any authority over cancelling the contract with Daniel Ricciardo. And with that being said, McLaren seems to be really interested in having Oscar Piastri as the driver for the 2023 season alongside Lando Norris, who's their star driver. And with all of this happening, Alpine still has the post on their Twitter saying that Oscar Piastri will be driving for Alpine for the 2023 season. So it likely seems like there's still some legal battle that's about to happen in this contract, and in a case where Oscar Piastri does win out the contract over Alpine, the likelihood of him going to McLaren and stepping into Daniel Ricciardo's seat is likely high, though the decision of whether Daniel wants to continue with the team or wants to drop out and cancel his contract is left to him to decide. And in a case where Daniel decides to drop out from the team, or if McLaren decides to buy out the contract. So with all this being said, where does this leave Daniel Ricciardo to be with for the 2023 season? Well, he could go back to Alpine, but if I was Daniel Ricciardo, that will be the decision that I would be taking, and really put up a strong performance at the 2023 season and show McLaren on what they have lost, because I wouldn't really want to continue in a team which clearly doesn't want me anymore. Or well, he could go to Williams, though it would be a huge step down from the teams that he has raced in the past. So I don't see it being a likely option for Daniel Ricciardo. So what I see is it's either going back to Alpine or continuing with McLaren, which I don't know how it's going to work out if Daniel decides to continue for the 2023 season. And the last and final option would be for him to just take a break from Formula 1 for the 2023 season and end up being a free agent. So in a case where Daniel Ricciardo does go back to Alpine, where does it leave him? Well, it leaves actually him in a great place, because it is a team that he has raced with in the past for 2 years, in 2019 and in 2020 as Renault, pulling out some great results for the team. So considering the fact that apart from his season where he raced with HRT, Toro Rosso and McLaren, he's actually very much familiar with the Renault powertrain. So it leaves Daniel Ricciardo at a great place where he can rebuild his broken reputation since he joined McLaren. Considering he's very much familiar with the characteristics of the Renault power unit and the Renault chassis, he knows what he can expect when he heads back to Alpine. And he has been teammates with Esteban Ocon, so he knows what to expect out of him as a teammate, and he can clearly outperform Esteban Ocon with no doubts. So if I were Daniel Ricciardo, that's where I'll be heading to. I'll be heading back to Alpine, rebuild my reputation and bring the team back to its glory days, and probably win some races and championship in the future. And as of I'm filming this video, this has been the most latest news. So yeah, that wraps up for this video, guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe to the Autopuncast YouTube channel if you haven't already, and also click that bell icon and turn on all notifications so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. It's me, your boy Autopuncast aka Vinesh, And also let me know in the comment section as to what you think about this whole situation between Oscar Piastri, Alpine, McLaren and Daniel Ricciardo, and what do you think that Daniel Ricciardo should do in a case where Oscar Piastri gets signed to McLaren for the 2023 season. It's me, your boy Oraban Cars, take care Vinesh, and I'm out. Love you guys. Peace.